Hey, SKOL Nation. What's good, Vikings faithful? It's time to get hyped because the 2025 season is knocking, and our Minnesota Vikings are looking like legit Super Bowl contenders. After years of being stuck in NFL purgatory, good enough to compete but never to hoist the Lombardi, we're finally breaking free. Today, we're diving into the latest Vikings news, roster moves, and how we stack up against teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Buckle up, because this season's got more juice than a Justin Jefferson touchdown grab. You're not gonna believe the moves Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and Kevin O'Connell have cooked up this offseason. We're talking a franchise QB in J.J. McCarthy, a beefed-up offensive line, and a defense ready to wreak havoc under Brian Flores. But here's the kicker. While we're building a dynasty, teams like the Steelers are scrambling to keep up. Are they stuck in the same rut we escaped? Let's break it all down in 10 electrifying segments, packed with the latest Vikings news and updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's got you most excited for 2025? Stick with me, SKOL fans, as we unpack J.J. McCarthy's rookie contract, our massive free agency spending, and why the Steelers' big moves might not measure up. From training camp buzz to roster shakeups, we're covering it all with that Vikings passion. Let's dive into the first scene and see why the purple and gold are ready to dominate. The Minnesota Vikings are no longer the team stuck in the middle, SKOL Nation. For years, we were that squad, good enough for the playoffs but never great enough for a Super Bowl. Remember the days of hoping Teddy Bridgewater or Kirk Cousins could be the guy? Those days are gone. The 2025 Vikings are built differently, with a 14-3 record last season and a roster screaming championship potential. Enter J.J. McCarthy, our number 10 overall pick from the 2024 NFL Draft. After missing his entire rookie season with a torn meniscus, he's back and ready to lead. The team's got faith in him, with no real competition on the depth chart. Sorry, Sam Howell, you're a backup for now. With Kevin O'Connell's play calling and an elite offense featuring Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and T.J. Hawkinson, McCarthy's got the keys to a Ferrari. But can he drive it to the promised land? What do you think, Vikings fans? Is J.J. McCarthy the franchise savior we've been waiting for? Or is the pressure too much for a first-year starter? Drop your predictions below because this kid's got the tools and we're about to see if he's got the heart. Stay tuned as we dig into his rookie contract next. Let's talk money, SKOL Nation, because the Vikings are spending big to make 2025 our year. J.J. McCarthy's rookie contract is a steal, giving us cap flexibility to build a powerhouse roster. As a top 10 pick, his 4-year deal is likely in the ballpark of $21 to $23 million, with a 5th-year option, keeping costs low while he grows into the QB1 role. This is huge for a team that dropped nearly $300 million in free agency to stack the deck. That cash went to monsters like center Ryan Kelly, guard Will Fries, and defensive studs Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen. Add in first-round draft pick Donovan Jackson to bolster the O-line, and McCarthy's got protection to sling it to Jefferson and Addison. But here's the catch. With an aging roster and injury concerns, like Christian Darrisaw's ACL recovery, health is everything. Can this revamped line keep JJ upright? What's your take, SKOL fans? Are we spending smart, or is this all-in approach too risky? Hit the comments and let me know if you think our O-line upgrades are enough to protect our QB. Up next, we're diving into our free agency frenzy and why it's got the NFL buzzing. SKOL Nation, the Vikings went all in this offseason, and it's got the league shook, dropping nearly $300 million in free agency. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah made it clear, we're not here to mess around. From locking up Pro Bowler Byron Murphy Jr. on a 3-year, $54 million deal to adding veterans like Ryan Kelly and Will Fries, Minnesota's building a roster for a deep playoff run. This ain't the same old Vikings chasing .500. But here's the spicy part. Our secondary took a hit. Losing Stephon Gilmore and Shaq Griffin in free agency left us thin at cornerback. And the Jalen Ramsey trade rumors? Yeah, those fizzled when he went to Pittsburgh instead. Now, we're banking on young guns like Dwight McGlothern and Zamea Vaughn to step up, with Asante Samuel Jr. still a free agent option. It's a gamble, but Brian Flores' defense led the league with 24 picks last year. Can we do it again? What's the vibe, Vikings fans? Are you worried about our cornerback depth? Or do you trust Flores to work his magic? Drop your thoughts below, and let's talk about that Ramsey trade next. It's a game changer for the Steelers, but not for us. Hold up, SKOL Nation. Let's talk about that blockbuster Jalen Ramsey trade, because it's got the NFL buzzing. The Pittsburgh Steelers pulled off a stunner, snagging Ramsey and tight end Jonnu Smith from Miami for safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a 2027 pick swap. Minnesota was in the mix for Ramsey, but his $72.3 million contract was too rich for our blood. Now, our secondary's looking shaky as we head into training camp. This trade's a big win for Pittsburgh, who've been making win-now moves all offseason. But here's the thing. Ramsey's 31, and their roster was already one of the oldest last year. Swapping Fitzpatrick, a 28-year-old star, for an aging corner feels like a lateral move at best. Meanwhile, our Vikings are leaning on youth. Guys like Mekhi Blackmon and Dallas Turner are poised for bigger roles in 2025. Are we dodging a bullet by passing on Ramsey? What do you think, SKOL fans? Did we miss out on Ramsey, or are we better off building with our young core? Hit the comments because we're about to break down why the Steelers' other big move didn't happen, and what it means for us. SKOL Nation, let's clear the air on a rumor that's been floating around. The Steelers didn't trade for DK Metcalf. Despite some buzz, there's no evidence Pittsburgh swapped George Pickens for Seattle's star receiver. The Steelers are sticking with their current WR core, and Seattle's still got Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and new QB Sam Darnold. Sorry, Pittsburgh fans, no upgrade there. This non-trade is good news for us Vikings fans. Our receiving duo of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison is already elite, and we don't need to worry about facing a souped-up Steelers offense. But here's the concern. Addison's facing a DUI trial next month, which could lead to NFL discipline. If he's suspended, can Jalen Nailor step up as our WR2? The depth's there, but we need Jordan on the field. What's your take, SKOL Nation? Are you worried about Addison's legal trouble? Or do you think our offense is deep enough to handle it? Drop your thoughts below, and let's compare the Vikings and Steelers rosters next. It's a tale of two teams. SKOL Nation, let's put the Vikings and Steelers side by side, because we're in different galaxies right now. Minnesota's coming off a 14-3 season, with a young QB in J.J. McCarthy and a stacked defense. Pittsburgh, they're stuck in NFL purgatory just like we used to be. Their QB situation is a mess. Rumors of chasing Aaron Rodgers fell flat, and they're banking on a 41-year-old to save them. Sound familiar, Vikings fans? The Steelers' roster is old, third oldest last year, and their win-now moves, like the Ramsey trade, feel desperate. Meanwhile, we've got youth and flexibility, with McCarthy's cheap contract and rising stars like Dallas Turner and Bo Richter. Pittsburgh's won over 10 games just once since 2018, while we're eyeing a deep playoff run. It's clear we're building for the future, and they're clinging to the past. Who's got the edge, SKOL fans? Are the Vikings light years ahead of the Steelers, or do their veteran moves scare you? Hit the comments because we're diving into our training camp buzz next. It's getting spicy. SKOL Nation, the 2025 Vikings training camp is about to pop off, and the vibes are electric. Minnesota announced a dozen practices open to fans, starting soon at the TCO Performance Center. This is our first chance to see J.J. McCarthy in action, slinging it to Jefferson and Addison. Rookie Donovan Jackson, our first-round O-line pick, is already turning heads. Can he anchor the line with Darrisaw back from injury? But the real buzz is on defense. Brian Flores' unit led the league with 24 interceptions last year, but with Gilmore and Griffin gone, our CB room is a question mark. Dwight McGlothern and Zamea Vaughn are fighting for spots, and there's talk of signing Asante Samuel Jr. to plug the gap. Will Flores scheme his way to another dominant season, or is our secondary a weak link? What's got you hyped for training camp, SKOL fans? Are you all in on McCarthy's debut, or nervous about our cornerbacks? Drop your thoughts below, and let's talk about our draft haul next. It's a game changer. SKOL Nation, let's talk about the 2025 NFL Draft, because Kwesi Adofo-Mensah played it like a maestro. With limited picks, the Vikings made every selection count, starting with Ohio State's Donovan Jackson to solidify the O-line. This guy's a beast, and paired with returners like Darrisaw and new additions like Ryan Kelly, our lines looking stout. Drafted players are cost-controlled, giving us bang for our buck as we chase that Super Bowl. We also snagged some underrated gems, like undrafted free agents Dwight McCarthy and Zamea Vaughn, who are battling for CB spots. These young guns fit our youth movement with guys like Dallas Turner and Bo Richter set to break out. But here's the question. With only a few picks, did we do enough to address our secondary? The Ramsey miss still stings. What's your grade for our draft, SKOL fans? Did Kwesi nail it, or should we have gone harder for a corner? Hit the comments, because we're diving into JJ McCarthy's big prediction next. It's wild. SKOL Nation, hold on to your horns, because JJ McCarthy just got a massive prediction for 2025. ESPN's Dan Orlovsky is all in, saying, I think he's going to be awesome this year. Why? Because Minnesota's roster is stacked. Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, and Aaron Jones give JJ an elite supporting cast. Orlovsky calls it the easiest place in the NFL for a young QB to thrive. That's high praise, but there's a catch. McCarthy missed his entire rookie season with a knee injury, so he's untested in the NFL. PFF says he doesn't need to be Superman, just clutch like he was at Michigan. With Kevin O'Connell's scheme and a top-tier O-line, the stage is set. But if he stumbles, there's talk of a blockbuster trade for a veteran QB like Baker Mayfield. Do we stick with JJ no matter what? What's your call, SKOL fans? Is McCarthy ready to lead us to the NFC Championship? Or should we have a veteran plan B? Drop your thoughts below, and let's wrap this up with why the Vikings are Super Bowl bound. SKOL Nation, it's time to dream big. The Minnesota Vikings are legit Super Bowl contenders in 2025. We've got the pieces. A franchise QB in JJ McCarthy, an elite offense, and a defense that can ball out under Brian Flores. Last year's 14-3 record wasn't a fluke, and with 6 Pro Bowlers, including Justin Jefferson, we're loaded. The Steelers? They're stuck in the past, while we're charging toward glory. But here's the final twist. Our success hinges on health and McCarthy's readiness. With an aging roster and injury concerns, Darisaw, Kelly, Fries, we can't afford slip-ups. If JJ delivers and our secondary holds, we could be playing in February. So, SKOL Nation, are you ready to see the Vikings finally lift that Lombardi trophy? That's it for today's Vikings news. SKOL fans, what's got you pumped for 2025? Drop your predictions in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe for more Vikings updates. Share this with your fellow fans, and let's get loud. SKOL Vikings. See you next time.